On this episode of Mighty Car Mods, the Gemini restoration and build continues. Did you know I used to be a pizza boy? It was one of my first jobs out of high school. I wanted to earn some extra cash, so at night time I would drive around in a Gemini and deliver pizzas. Fast forward 20 years, here we are restoring a dream car for me, a Gemini coupe, which is what I always wanted. And luckily for us, we got in touch with Domino's randomly through the Unicorn circuit and said, hey, why don't you get on board? And they agreed. So Domino's is actually supporting this build. We're gonna make an excellent pizza delivery vehicle out of my Gemini.
We've spent weeks on paint and panel, and that continues with our mates Joey and Alec down at VIP.
We've been coming down every single week to help wherever we can. Now, obviously these guys are professionals, so they have been doing a lot of extra time as well, out of hours, getting stuff restored and ready, straightening up panels, high fill, all the stuff that is legitimately just hard labor to get the car ready. Now, the last few weeks that we've been here, we've mostly been dealing with rust. We have gone through so many grinding discs and wire brushes, it's not even funny, just to get rid of all the dirt and dust. Some of the panels actually turned to dust in our hands as we were sort of stripping them off. We made a few panels here. I made a panel, Joey's made some panels on the English wheel to get all the curves right, doing the classic panel beating, which doesn't happen as much these days as it used to. We picked off the front valance and the front bar support here as well to get rid of all the rust that's underneath it. Luckily, in this particular car, it is mostly just on the surface. There's a few bad patches here and there, but overall, we did pretty well. There is a point in a project like this where if you had enough rust, you would just chuck it and you go, no, I'm not going there. I mean, I realize people pull things out of barns and swamps and do that, but there's enough Geminis out there you don't need to. But I'm happy to say this shell will survive. It's not that bad. And we've repaired pretty much everything. So now it's at the stage we've applied some etch primer to all the areas that we have restored that we did take back to bare metal, which as you can see is quite a lot of the engine bay. Most of the problems were in the bay and around the front of the car. The actual turret and the rest of the car is actually really good. It's straight. We've done no repairs on the roof so far and it's looking really good. It might need a little skim here and there. The rest of the car's turned out really good. The boot copped a little bit of water like most Gemini boots do because it leaks through here. So we repaired all that. We repaired the spare tyre wheel, the well where the spare tyre goes, and stripped off everything else. So now, today, we are gonna high fill the car. High fill is where we put on the primer to really be able to block it back and make it really smooth. So that's what we're up to. We're gonna pump straight into it. There's a lot to show you. Come with us. This is the not very glamorous job of stripping all the adhesive because the hood lining actually comes up under the seal here and then is glued on. So I'm just stripping off 40-year-old glue. But we need to do that so we can tape it from the back and then paint it so this will be all the new colour. But we're having a good time chatting to the boys. One thing I love about this shop is the vibe. They're just really positive. They all love cars. They've all got a ridiculous number of cars and projects because they have the sickness, as do I. So yeah. It's nice, enjoyable, and nice to see it taking shape. Cannot wait to see it with colour on it.
The steering rack is staying in so we can easily move the car around the shop. Harry from VIP is going to be in charge of laying down the paint, which should look great as long as our prep is up to scratch.
All right, Harry, you do a lot of masking. Whose marking's better, mine on the passenger side or Joey's on this side?
I'll be at the judge of that. Let me have a look.
I got you. I'm gonna.
You know what, Joe? I'm sorry, man.
Yes, winning. Sorry, mate.
Nah, it's all right.
Now we'll have a panel beating competition and I will lose.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Fair is fair.
Oh yeah, I'm good at masking. There you go.
It's actually very neat.
Thank you. This time, people, the Gemini is going to make its way into the booth for the first time. Well, its second time, our first time, to get the first layer of primer and high fill on so then it can be blocked back.
It's a tale as old as time. The hard work of a paint job is in the prep. And we have spent weeks getting this thing straight, but we've still got hours of work to do because once this primer dries, we have to sand it all back using blocks, which helps smooth out any imperfections in the panels. We've masked up anything not requiring primer or any areas we want to paint separately. Then we pull a large sheet of plastic over the whole car, and using the masking tape we applied earlier, it all gets stuck down over the windows. Then we can cut around them using a razor blade. Next, we're cleaning off everything with Prepsol, wiping it down, and then it's ready to mix up the paint and start laying this primer.
I've lost count of how many days we've been here, but we've been back and forth as often as we possibly can to get this car moving along. It has been high-filled. We've also got the guide coat that's been sprayed over it, and now it's all about blocking. The body's been done, the rust repairs have been done, and over here we actually have the panels as well, which have been sprayed out. So we've got the panels here with all the primer and the high fill and the guide coat, and now everything is going to get blocked so it is perfectly smooth. This is where all the fine scratches come out. This is what the final top coat sits on, and the better and smoother this is, the better the final paint job will look. So even though this looks like some boring grey, this is what matters. We're going to rub it all back, and then we're going to do colour. Okay, so I'm going to pull off the rest of the interior trims as much as I can. I'm leaving the hood lining because it's absolutely perfect. And in a Gemini, you actually don't see the inside colour like you do in some old cars. So we could actually leave this yellow, but I think what I'm going to do, just to make it super neat and also efficient, is to just paint this all black, just a very basic satin black. That way anything that does poke through will just sort of disappear. You could do it body colour, but you don't actually see it. So I don't know if there's any point fully prepping and painting this in the same as the body colour. So this is going to come off, headlining will stay, everything else will get dusted black. We make sure there's no rust left, no dirt left, clean it all out, and that will be a nice base to put carpet, sound deadening, all the other stuff that goes back in afterwards. All right, that's a couple of hours of blocking. It's like nearly 40 degrees today, so I'm feeling it, but it's going to be totally worth it. Just spraying some Prepsol on this now, and from there, if you get the angle right, you get a bit of an idea of what it's going to look like. Kind of acts like a clear coat, and you can see if it's straight, and it actually looks really good. So all the damage has been repaired by the boys, obviously, and then that high fill, and then we've blocked it back with that flat surface, which makes that panel flat, which is what makes cars look excellent when they're painted.
Now that the inside of the car has been fully repaired and stripped of all the factory sound deadening, I can lay down some black which will seal it all up and provide a nice clean base for our more modern sound deadening carpet and interior trim. I'm on a mission to get rid of as much yellow as I possibly can, because even though you won't see it under the carpet, I'll still know it's there. Once that is dry, we can go all hands on deck to block back the engine bay and any remaining parts of the car that are in primer, ready for the big moment of laying down the new colour. And speaking of colour, I guess it's about time I showed you exactly what is going to get sprayed onto this bare shell.
Could be anything. Let's stir it up and have a look, shall we? Oh, what? Oh, it looks so good. I would never have guessed it would come out like that. It looks freaking amazing.
The name of this colour is Gemini Metallic. Picking a colour on a full respray is a big deal. Once it's on, and there's no going back easily. That is the colour you'll be turning around to look at when you park your car. It was originally developed by Porsche, and I found examples of it going way back to the 1970s, but it is a colour you can still order today. The colour jumped at me straight away, and when I saw the name, I knew it was the right choice. So we're going to spray out a sample card to make sure it looks good under artificial lights, shade and full sun. Then we can come back down and get to work painting the entire car.
It's another day down here at VIP Smash and Mechanical, and it's an exciting day because colour is going on. Look at this. It's all been blocked. We're masking it up, ready so that we can put plastic over it, and then we can spray this thing. I cannot tell you how excited I am to see the final colour on this thing, and it's happening today. Let's do it. are just about to paint the Gemini after weeks and weeks and weeks of work. Lots of work by us, and the boys have put in even more hours after hours to get this thing right. It's ready to put the colour on. This is a bit I've been so excited about because this is where we get to see it transform into this amazing Porsche Gemini blue that I've chosen. I just need to go sit down. The base coat is on, so you can see the colour, which I think has turned out just excellent. It's this really interesting combination of blue. It kind of flips a little bit purple, but not so much that it looks like a purple car. And it's got this really nice silver in there as well. So that is Porsche Gemini blue. That's the colour. So now we're just going to make sure there's no imperfections in it. If we need to do more coats, we need to sand anything, make sure this stage is right, because once the clear is on, that's locked away forever. So the next stage is check all this, potentially spray it again, hit it with clear, hit it with more clear, hit it with more clear, and then the car will be painted. Then we've got to do all the panels and everything else. So there's still a bit to do, but we'll fast forward it through for you.
I knew this entire project was going to be a huge undertaking, and that's why it took so long to kick off in the first place. The paint and panel was something I wanted to hold off on until I could be sure that the work would be excellent. The guys at VIP pulled out all the stops and let us come down to help, and in the end there were hundreds of hours of work put in. The result is outstanding, and this will be a street car, not a show car locked away in a garage. It will be used and driven out on the road, and it will look absolutely excellent when it's all done. There is still weeks of work ahead of us, but I couldn't be happier with where we're up to right now.
So after months of work in the paint shop, thank you very much to Joey and Alec at VIP Smash and Mechanical for having us down there. I really enjoyed my time there working on the car. I'm so happy with how that colour turned out. It was a big deal choosing one.
It looks bluissimo, doesn't it? It looks amazing. And that's a Porsche colour,
It's a Porsche colour. It's paint to sample PTS. Gemini blue. Porsche has lots of really nice blues, and it actually matched pretty closely to a Holden colour that was available around the same time, which is what I was going for. And then when I saw that Porsche colour, it was recommended to me by a very clever gentleman, and he said, give this a go, and I was like, done. And the fact it's called Gemini blue, I was like,
that's amazing.
Deal sealed.
Can you get that colour on any Porsches currently? Like, is it a current
I think you can still spec it. Yeah, I had a bit of a look and it looks like you can still spec it. There's hundreds of colours that Porsche will paint your Porsche if you want them to. But enough about Porsches. The Gemini in Gemini blue looks amazing. It's now back at Super Garage, and next episode we're going to get deep into some of the suspension and mechanical work. We're only at the beginning of the mountain, people, but we are making good progress.
We can now show you a bit more of the poster. So here
There
it
it
is.
is.
It's now in. It's mad Gemini blue.
so
We got
good.
some little treats coming on the front end, and we don't want to show you the wheels yet. That said,
Very soon.
Your poster may have arrived or maybe in the mail, so keep the spoilers to yourself. But you can get these when they're gone. They are gone forever. We're really, really proud of these. A big shout out to our mate Jess Darmy, who's the artist, and Garth, who does all of this. They put that together. You can get them. We'll ship it to you anywhere in the world and sign it. And it actually directly supports the show. A lot of people are like, how do we support you guys? We don't do a Patreon or anything like that, but it would really mean a lot to us if you grabbed one of them because A, you get an awesome little piece of art. Look over here. Just have a quick look over here, people.
Pretty cool.
The collection. And I know some of you have got like more in your collection. Other people are trading them and stuff online. They go for big, big dollars.
Look.
But once it's not available and time is out, it is gone forever. So either
nicely.
add to your collection or start your collection. There will be more. So click on the thing or there's a link down below. Thanks for supporting the show. It means a lot to us. And see you next time for more Gemini.
More Gemini coming at ya in just a few days' time.